Hey guys, Tyler Hooks here with AKA Products, and we are going to talk about 8 scale foam today. We've talked a lot about 10 scale foam. You've seen just guys in general just talking a lot about it using rollers and things like that. What we found with our foam is that it actually is really sturdy. You can run it for a really long time. It'll feel pretty much the same. It's pretty dense, and that gives it that feeling of a lot of support. But on the flip side of that is sometimes it feels like on the 8 scale track, our tires, maybe it'll take a run or two to get them where you want them. And most people in the past have just attributed that to the tire itself breaking in. But what we found is that it actually might be a little bit of the foam just being a little bit big when you first put them into the tire and you first start running them. Over time, they get a little bit smaller, they lose a bit of their shape, and they actually end up being really, really good for a really long time. But just at the beginning, they feel a little bit thick, and they make the tire pretty round. You can see right here, this tire's got a really, really round shape to it, and that's with a full-size foam. So what Jared and some of the other guys have been doing, and there's basically 2 different ways to go about this, is you can cut the foam, the inside of the foam, do a V shape. And then once you actually put the foam on the wheel, it's going to make the tire sit a little bit flatter right in the center. It's going to kind of spread everything out once it's in the wheel. Or you can go ahead and just use an older set of foams. I like doing that when I use a tire all the way up and I don't feel like I want to run it anymore. I'll go ahead and cut it open and then take the foams out of it, and I'll mark them with an X. So I know that if it's got an X on it and I put it in another set of tires and I get done using those and I cut it back open, if it already has an X on it, I'm going to go ahead and toss them out. You only really want to use them once, and if you're doing like a 45-minute main and you get done with a set of foams, they may be a little bit too collapsed. But for the most part, I like running a used set of foams. It gives it that flatter profile, and it just makes the car feel like on those first couple of runs, like it's got a little bit more grip and it doesn't take as long to break the tire in or get that feeling of just comfort. So what I'm going to do on this video is show you how to V-cut these foams if you do decide you want to do it with some new foams. But keep in mind, you can just use older sets of foams if you have them laying around. And that is specifically for our red foam for the AKA tires. All right, guys, so I'm going to make 2 quick cuts. I did most of this tire already. Make sure that you can see it. So you go ahead and just squeeze the foam and then put this right in the center and try to make a small cut as even as you can. And we'll do one more. It's pretty much as simple as that. You just go all the way around the tire and make these quick cuts all the way around. And then when you flip it back over, put it in your tire. And you're going to put it on the wheel. It should make it feel a little bit flatter. I've done this as well when I haven't had old sets of tires to cut up and use foams from. And obviously, if you keep doing that with your foams, you're just going to run out eventually. So this is kind of a way to get around it. When you do this, you're not going to want to reuse your foams. They're going to collapse too much. So it's basically you do it one way or you do it the other way. But both kind of get that same outcome. Jared likes to do it this way specifically because it's always going to be the same for him as long as he does it this way every single time. So he prefers to just not even use old foams usually, just to try to do it like this most of the time. And it's going to be probably hard to tell on the camera, but it makes it a little bit flatter. This one's got the cut foam in it. This one's got the full-size foam. And it's just more dense with the full-size foam on this side. This side's going to be a little bit flatter. It feels a little bit squishier to the touch, which obviously you can't get that sensation. But if you were to do it yourself and you kind of feel it, you get a little bit more give, which when the tire is brand new, that adds a little bit of comfort. I like doing this in most situations. There's not quite one I've found where I'm not a big fan of just doing something to kind of make the foam feel a little bit softer, whether it's use an old set or cut a new set. But it's definitely not something you 100% have to do to go around the track. It's just something that I personally prefer. So again, this was just a quick video on what you can do to your 8 scale foams to find, maybe another tenth or two, especially when they're new. we're going to just keep pumping out content while this is going. I know there's not really any racing going on or anything like that, but we're doing the best we can. So again, thank you all for watching. If you have any questions or need anything, feel free to hit us on any of our social media platforms or at our website at raceaka.com, and we'll keep it going. Thank you.